Okay, so I'm going to try and draw a standard part that's rather useful today. And that standard part is going to be an L bracket. Now you can see from the front face that it's got two holes in it there. And on the side, so that would be on the bottom section here, I've got two holes running there as well. And I'm going to use the dimensions on this page to help me draw my bracket. So I'm going to start off by drawing on the right plane. So the right plane will allow me to draw this profile here. So if I click on the right plane, view from the right, and then go into sketch mode. Now as I go into sketch mode, I can use the straight line tool, click from my center, go up. Don't pay too much attention to the dimensions at this stage because I can come back and edit them afterwards. Just make sure that you're snapping, because it's a right angle, make sure that you're snapping to the right angle or the axis that you can see on the page. Click on the dimension tool. I can dimension this edge, so that's going to be 40. And I can dimension this edge here, and that's going to be 40. Now there's a couple of different ways that I could draw this top line and this vertical line running here. But I'm going to show you a new tool that we haven't yet used, which is offset. So if I click on the offset tool and just click to the left side of this line, it creates that offsetted line there. Now I can flick the dimensions by clicking on the arrow, press enter, and I can change the dimension there. So the thickness of that L bracket was 2, as it details on the drawing. So let's go to escape offset and back to offset. So I'm going to offset this line. Now it's done this in the correct direction, or the direction that I wanted to go in. So I can press enter and again change that to 2. Now you can see it's got two little overlapped lines, which I don't care to keep. So the next tool that I'm going to show you is trim. Now this allows me to trim entities that are overlapped. So if I click on that line and that line. Now currently you can see this is all one colour in the background. In order to do an extrude, I need to make sure that it's a complete loop with no little bits sticking off the edge. So if I click on straight line, click across, and I'm going to do the same down here, straight line, go across. Now there's one little detail that I'm yet to add. What I'd normally have on an L bracket is a fillet. So if I click on sketch fillet and just select that outer edge there, 2, yeah, I'm happy with it too. Okay, press green tick. Now the next step, if I go back to isometric so that I can view it in 3D, I'm confident that that's 40 running that way and 40 running vertical. So I can now go to extrude. Now when I go to extrude, it'll extrude it out in a single direction because it's set to blind. So let's first of all select the sketch. And you can see now that it's going out in one direction. Because I'd like to keep it symmetrical on the right plane, so you can see it's just going to one edge at the moment. If I change this to symmetrical, that now splits the dimension. So if I just check 17 wide, so if I change that to 17 and green tick. So that is the basic model of my L bracket. I could go back and make some edits to the sketches, but what I'm going to do now is make holes on this surface. So I could select the plane, but let's select the face instead. So right click, view normal to, and I can now draw the two holes there. So click on sketch, select the center point circle, and now because I used that symmetrical tool earlier on, I've now got this plane here to help me. So I can snap to the center plane. I could use the pattern tool here, but it's just as quick to draw two new circles that are going to represent my holes. So let's check the dimensions. I've got 4 millimeters. This drawing isn't actually telling me where to place these holes, so let's decide on that ourselves. So let's first of all select a diameter size of 4. Same on this one. Let's just go back and check this drawing. Okay, so we've got a diameter of 4. And now, because I've snapped it to the center, I can set the dimensions to the upper edge set that to 10. See what that looks like. And let's set this one to the top edge again. Always dimension to one single point if you can. Reduces the amount of error. So 20, I think we should separate that out a little bit more. So I'm going to go back in, double click, and change that to 30. Yeah, let's leave it like that. Okay, so green tick. The next feature that I need to do now is an extrude. Isometric. Zoom in, extrude. Wait for the dialog box to appear. Click on remove. Use the dialog box to help you. So I want to extrude this point here, or that sketch. Check that it's going in the correct direction, which it is, and press green tick. So I'll leave you do these two holes. It's the same process as what I showed you on here. So we'll do those two holes, and then take a look at the next video, and I'll show you how to do an orthographic, or what's called an engineering drawing.